Hi, everybody. So, what um, what I've learned over the last year is that we're all spiritual beings living the human experience, and we're supposed to shine our light. We're supposed to share the things we've been through to help others. And throughout my life, I've been through a lot of things, so I have a lot of stories, a lot, and it's all about taking your power back. Like, quit giving your power away to the things that happened to you in your life, and realize that they happened for you to make you who you are now. Like, you could live in that victim mentality and think everybody owes you something, or you can take the things you've been through and empower other people. Like, I don't feel that I'm a victim. Like, I've been through things, but those things, I learned from them, and they made me stronger. So So the stuff I'm sharing with you isn't me being a victim. The stuff I'm sharing with you is me sharing with you that you can get through this, and you have the power. Even when you feel like you don't, you do. You're never alone. So one of my stories is I had a drug addiction for about 3 years of my life. I was like 35 years old, I think. And I was married to my kid's father, and I was pregnant with my second son. And when I found out that my husband was on drugs, and I don't know, everything in our life was actually going a lot better. Well, I won't say that because I don't really remember all of it, but I do remember that, like, I found out he was doing drugs, and I didn't want to believe it. And I made all kind of excuses and this and that. And I spent a lot of nights crying, lots of nights crying. Like, nights he wouldn't come home, and just different things. And I don't know, I got to a point where I loved him so much that instead of leaving and choosing myself, which is what you should do, you're supposed to choose yourself. I chose to try the drugs. I was like, you know what? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. And my thought was, I couldn't understand how someone can choose that over their family. And so I chose to try it. And I tried it the first time, and I don't think really anything big happened because I didn't really know what I was doing. But, and by the way, I started out by smoking crack because he was smoking crack. So the second time I tried it, and I was like, I don't know, like, I felt, I don't know, I guess it took me away from everything. It took me away from reality. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. And so, it doesn't take long to get hooked. It doesn't take long at all. And soon after, and I don't know how long it was, I lost weight, and I was overweight. So let's say I wasn't happy. Like, it wasn't even a happy relationship. Like, it was a lot of struggling, a lot of arguing. Like, I wanted it to be happy, but it wasn't. And I'm not blaming anyone. Like, it was both of us, because you're both trying to figure things out, and there was a lot of things that needed work there. But anyway, so I lost weight. I started losing weight, and I was like, oh, okay. because you know how many times I tried to lose weight prior to that. And, well, because this would have been when I tried doing the drugs. When I started doing it, it was after I had my son, my second son. So I had a baby. I had a baby there, and I had a 4-year-old and a baby, and a husband that was on drugs. And my whole world felt like it was falling apart. And I didn't want to leave him because I loved him. And so anyway, I was addicted and I lost weight, and it took me away from the reality of things, the mess that everything was. And I mean, the best way I can explain it is, so for the next 3 years, I was addicted. And I went to, at some point, I did leave. And not because I really wanted to. Like I said, I don't remember all the details, but I ended up living with my parents for a little while, and then I got into public housing somewhere, and then I went right back to the drugs. So I stopped for a short time. And like I went back just like I never stopped. And it came to a night where I don't know, I was so paranoid I called my sister or someone. And anyway, there was an ambulance, took me to the hospital, and I was so paranoid. And I ended up going to a rehab, and I ended up going to a halfway house. And even after I got out of the halfway house, I stopped for a while. And like I said, everybody makes their own choices, so I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm just telling my story. So a girl that I became very good friends with at the halfway house got out, and she stayed with me until, like, I don't know if her apartment wasn't ready or she just came to hang out with me. But that night, it was right back to it. I'm not sure if there was drugs that night or not, but there was drinking. And not that drinking was ever an issue for me, but basically, like, I'm not sure if she really had an intention of quitting or not, or if she was just taking a break. Because some people just go because they have to, and some people just go because they need a break and they need to get themselves back together. Like, but I don't know. I didn't have a lot of self-worth, and I didn't have a lot of friends in my life, and I went along and started doing the drugs again. And I met a guy, and he did drugs also, so I just went right back into it. So basically, after that, like, different things happened, and I ended up having to move back home because I was in another town. And I moved back home, and I wasn't doing drugs again for a little while. But then I found a guy who I knew who sold crack, and I got a hold of him, and I started back on it again. And I got my own house, and I got a job and all that. And I don't know, I started getting out of control with it again. And all I remember is one night I called my parents because I was like, I'm a mess. Like, it's happening again. And they helped me. And I know, and I still think I might have done it a couple more times after that. But after that, that was it for me. And I know it wasn't just me. Like, it was God and the universe that helped me, because one day I was just done. I just didn't want to do that anymore. And I didn't. And I'm so thankful and grateful. And just, if you're in that situation and you want to be done, you can do it. You can do it. Just always believe that you have the power. You just have to take your power back. All right, everyone. Love. Peace. Stay tuned.